be helpful, but not required. But when you get ready and cue up your music, and you can put on any playlist that's calling to you. So sincerely, finding a playlist that you just want to listen to that music right now, like you carved out this space for yourself. So be in the space with the music that you love. So cue up your tunes. And then just come to stand on your mat. We're going to start standing. And we're going to stand with our feet a little bit wider than our hips tonight. And then just start to feel the weight of your body sort of naturally flow and start to come into your stillness. So sometimes there's that slight sway side to side or back and forth. And you start to ground into the space. And then I'm going to have you pick up all 10 toes. Just to shift your weight back into your soles of your feet. And then you're going to lower your big toes to your mat. And then your pinky toes to the mat. So those 3 toes in the middle are still up, ever so slightly. It's more challenging than you kind of think so, but like, why can't, like, we have this nimbleness in our fingers because we use them so individually, but it's not the same for our toes. And then you'll lower those 3 center toes down. And just ground into the space. And then just sort of get out of a fixed gaze and maybe soften your gaze to something in the room. Or shift gaze close. Then I want you to reach your right hand up to sky. And just roll your shoulder down the backside. It's just getting your shoulder out of your ear. But I want you to keep actively reaching up through your fingers and finding some length through your right side. And actively pressing through the sole of your right foot. And then you'll lower that arm down by your side. Then you're going to reach up through your left hand. Keeping that engagement of your shoulder. Hugged into center. Press into the sole of your left foot. And just see if you can reach a little bit higher. Maybe establishing some length after sitting all day. And then you'll lower that arm down by your side. Then you're going to extend your arms out to a T. Your palms are going to face forward. Thumbs up to sky. And then you're just going to hug your right arm across your left. And just hugging in with your left arm for a little assist for getting some release into your shoulder. Then you're going to extend your arms back out to a T. And hug your left arm across your chest, hugging in with your right arm. And then you're going to extend your arms out to a T. And then lower your hands behind your back. And you're just going to interlace your fingers and hug your shoulder blades together. Keeping gaze straight forward, but you can keep gaze shifted close, just not tucking your chin towards your chest, keeping the lift of your chin. Pressing into the soles of your feet. And again, you're going to lift up all 10 toes. Finding your center. Then you're going to lower your pinky toes back to your mat. The big toe back to your mat. So those 3 toes in the center are still lifted. And then you'll lower them down one by one. Uninterlace your fingers. And just lower your arms by your side. You're then going to step your feet to be hip-width distance apart. So it's like there's 2 fists in between your feet, so you can kind of eyeball it. And finding that broad stance. And we're going to take this rolling chair. So you're going to use your exhale to come into a gentle Utkatasana. Your inhale will guide you into standing. Exhale into your Utkatasana. Inhale, lift into standing. Exhale into your Utkatasana, keeping that natural curvature in your lower back, just feeling the movement into your hips. Inhale, you stand back up. Exhale, Utkatasana. Lift of heart. Exhale, come into standing. You're going to inhale to reach your hands up. On your exhale, you're going to lower your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers and hug those shoulder blades together. Lift of heart, lift of chin. You're going to uninterlace your fingers. And you're going to step your feet together at the front of your mat. And hug your legs in together, feeling that connection into your quads. Relax the glutes, connect into core. On your inhale, you're going to reach your hands up to sky. And exhale, fold. On your inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, fold. You're going to plant your hands on your mat, step your left foot to back of mat. We're going to come into our low lunge. You're going to lower your left knee down. And lowering your left knee down, you might double over your mat to get a little more cushion underneath your knee. Or if you have a blanket, you can tuck the blanket underneath your knee. It's just some extra cushion. And then you're going to walk your hands up your shin to your right knee. And then just lean into your right knee, feeling some release through the left side. Gaze is straight forward. Then you're going to lower your hands to your mat. You're going to lift up your left knee. This is where you might want to block blocks, but if you don't have them, it's certainly okay. If you have blocks or books, those can frame your right foot. You'll bring your hands on top of the blocks. And you're just going to lengthen out through your right leg. So if you don't have blocks, it's no problem. Your hands will just be on your mat and just lengthen out through your right leg so you start to feel some release through your right side. And if you're needing more length, you can just bring your hands to your ankle. You just want to rest your weight into your hands. You want to keep the weight into your body, just to be kind to your ankle, to your leg, giving it some love. But find this expression that works for you. You'll then take a bend back into your right knee. If you have a blanket or props, you're just going to set that aside. And you're going to step your left foot to the front of your mat. Hands to your shins and lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, fold. You're going to come into your ragdoll and bring your hands to opposite elbows, releasing your head toward your mat. Generous bend in your knees. And you can stay in stillness in your ragdoll, or sway your ragdoll from side to side. Whatever sort of speaks to you. You're just trying to get a release into your lower back, all the way to the crown of your head. You'll then lower your hands to your mat and roll up into standing. Rolling your shoulders up into your ears and releasing them down your backside. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, find some length. Exhale, fold. Grounding hands in to step your right foot to back of mat. We're coming into low lunge on this side, so lower the right knee. Use your mat or your blanket as a support underneath your right knee. Hands to your left knee. And leaning into your left knee, getting some release through your right side. Keeping gaze forward, keeping navel hugged in towards spine to get that protection into your lower back. And then you can shift gaze closed when you find that space to breathe into. And just exploring how this is feeling in your body tonight. And as the ideas of the day might be circling through your mind, while we can't stop it, just simply letting the thoughts pass by. And sometimes that's not so simple. So maybe deepen into your breath to draw your awareness inward. You're going to lower your hands to your mat. Curl your right toes under to lift up your right knee. We're going to come into this modified pyramid on the side as we did on the other. So either with the use of blocks or placing your hands on your mat, you just want to find some length through your left leg. However that is speaking to you. Just looking to get some release into the glute, behind the hamstring, through probably the back side of your body. Breathe into the space. Find the warmth of your breath. You'll then take a bend back into your left knee and step your right foot to the front of your mat. Bring your hands to your shins and lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to your shins and lengthen out through your backside. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your hands to sky. Exhale, bring your hands into heart center. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, length. Exhale, fold. Ground your hands in. Step your left foot to back of mat. High lunge. Ground into your feet, rise up into your high lunge. Gaze is straight forward. On your exhale, you lower your hands back to your mat. Step your left foot to the front of your mat. Inhale, length. Exhale, fold. Ground hands in, right foot to back of mat. Ground into the feet, rise into your high lunge. Find your strength coming into your balance. Exhale, lower your hands to your mat. Step your right foot to the front of your mat. Inhale, length. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your hands to sky. Exhale, your hands into heart center. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, length. Exhale, fold. Ground hands in, step your left foot to back of mat. Rotate your left heel down. You're coming into your warrior two. Rise up. Gazing over that right hand to the front of your space. Reverse your warrior. Reaching back. Finding the openness through the right side of your body. Warrior two. Lower your hands to your mat. Spin the left toes forward. Step your left foot to the front of your mat. Inhale, length. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your hands to sky. Exhale, your hands into heart center. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen out. Hands to your shins. Exhale, fold. Ground hands in, step your right foot to back of mat. Rotate your right heel down. Warrior two, rise up into your warrior. Fiercely gazing over your left fingers. Flip your left palm to sky and reverse your warrior. Reaching back. Exhale, warrior two. Lower your hands to mat to frame your left foot. Spin the right toes forward. Step your right foot to the front of your mat. Inhale, length. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your hands to sky. Exhale, bring your hands into heart center. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, length. Exhale, fold. Planting hands in, step your left foot to back of mat. Rise up into your high lunge, reaching your hands to sky. Gaze is straight forward. Find your balance. Get your weight shifted into the soles of your feet and out of your toes. You're then going to open up into your warrior two. Bring the opening in the hips, tucking that left hip back. Bring the opening in the front side of the body. You're going to reverse your warrior, reaching back through that right hand. Warrior two. You're going to rotate into your high lunge, reaching hands to sky. Lower your hands to your mat. Step your left foot to the front of your mat. Inhale, length. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your hands up to sky. Exhale, bring your hands into heart center. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold. Hands to your shins and lengthen out through the backside. Exhale, fold. Ground hands in, right foot to back of mat. Rotate right heel down. Sorry. Lift your right heel up. We're coming into a high lunge, reaching our hands up to sky. Gaze is forward. Then open up into your warrior two, rooting your right heel down. You'll reverse your warrior, reaching back through your left hand. Warrior two. You'll then rotate back onto the ball of your right foot for your high lunge. Lower your hands to mat to frame your left foot. Step your right foot in front of mat. Inhale, length. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your hands to sky. Exhale, bring your hands into heart center. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, find the length. Exhale, fold. Ground the hands in, step back into your plank. Lower your knees, but keep your knees behind your hips here at a diagonal. You're going to guide yourself all the way to your abdomen. Use your inhale to lift into a baby cobra. Hug those shoulder blades together. Exhale, lower. Lift up into your tabletop. You can stay here or curl toes under, downward facing dog. Ground into your hands. Find the length of your backside. Breathe into the space. We're all going to meet at the back of our mat. Bend in the knees if you're in downward dog, and walk your hands to the back of your mat. Hands to your shins and lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your hands to sky. Exhale, bring your hands into heart center. Take a mindful walk to the front of your mat. Inhale, reach your hands to sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Ground hands in, step back into your plank. This time, try it with your knees lifted. Guide yourself down to your abdomen, keeping your elbows hugged in to your side. Your inhale will lift you into a baby cobra. Exhale, lower. You're going to transition back into a child's pose. You're in child's pose. I'm just going to come out of child's pose just to walk you through a few things, because otherwise I'm just talking to my mat. You're going to walk both your hands over to the right side of your mat. You're going to keep walking that left hand over to start to feel some release through the left side of your body. So your left hand might stack on top of your right or reach further than your right. We're just taking this little side bend, anchoring your left hip back, finding some release into your hip and in through your side body. You'll then walk your hands back into center and over to the left. So just keep walking both your hands over to find some openness to the right side of your body. Offer breath into the space. And then you'll walk your hands back into center. And then guide yourself into your tabletop. And then you're just going to step your right foot to the front of your mat. Nothing fancy happening here. Your left foot will step forward. Hands to your shin, lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to your shins and lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your hands up to sky. Exhale, bring your hands into heart center. We're going to come into a tree this evening. So I want you to start to ground in to your left foot. So your right toes become light. You're going to bring your right knee up into center. Open up in your hip. Sole of right foot comes to the inside of your right leg. And then you hug your legs in together. So your foot can be anywhere. You can bring your toes to your mat and have your heel to the inside of your left foot. So the foot can be to the inside of your left leg at the calf or above the knee to the inside of your quad. Your foot can be anywhere but the knee because your legs are hugging in together. So you don't want to press into your knee. Ground in your tree. Hug navel in towards spine. That's where your balance comes from. You'll extend your right hand up to sky. Your left hand will follow. Keep gaze forward. Relax the shoulders. Steady your breath. And if your tree falls down, you just shift your weight in and build it back up. You'll then shift your right knee forward, right foot back to your mat. Bring your hands into heart center. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your hands up to sky. Exhale, bring your hands into heart center. And then you're going to step your feet hip width distance apart. And just lower your arms down by your side. You're going to roll your shoulders into your ears and release them down your backside. And then step your feet together. Hug your legs in together. Reach your fingers toward earth and rotate the palms of your hands to face the front of space. So here is the practice of yoga. You've come into a space that might be a little shaky, might be strong, might be shaky and then it was strong. But all of that is in the past. Can you bring yourself into the present right now? Letting the experience and the ideas of what just shifted away be behind you. Not letting that tap into the space that you're in right now. They are not connected. You're in a new space. You're pressing through the soles of your feet. You're finding your core and igniting your warmth from your center. You've come into your practice this evening with smooth and steady breath, and to give time and attention to you. And that's the energy that you take into building your tree. You're going to bring your hands into heart center. Start to shift your weight into your right foot. Your left toes become light. Take things one step at a time. You're going to bring your left knee up into center. And this is just a traction into your balance. You're going to open up in your hip and bring sole of foot inside to your right leg and hug the legs in together. You build the base of your tree. Get grounded into your mat. And then you reach your hands to sky, gazing straight forward. And gazing on something that is not moving, sort of finding your true north in this space, grounding in. And here's the thing, if your tree falls, bring your hands back into heart center, shift your weight into your right foot, lift those left toes up, and rebuild your tree. The beauty of this tree is it doesn't take years and years to build. It's one breath at a time. You're going to bring your hands back into heart center, shift your left knee forward, lower your left foot to your mat. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to your shins and lengthen out. Exhale, fold. You're going to plant your hands on your mat and step back into your downward facing dog. If you don't want to do downward dog this evening, lower your knees to your mat and come into your puppy. So you're going to keep your hips over your knees and walk your hands to the front of your mat. Whichever version you have chosen, shift your gaze close and take 5 breaths here. And it could be 3 breaths in your downward dog, 2 breaths in tabletop. But really honoring the space that you're in tonight. Grounding into the space. Pressing into the soles of your hands. Finding the length through your backside. Smooth and steady breaths. And then you'll lower your knees to your mat and take a child's pose. Big toes touch, knees to side edges of mat, dropping your hips to your heels and extending your hands forward. And if your head comes down to your mat, maybe making some gentle rolls side to side, awakening that third eye center, that space at the center of your forehead, just between your eyes. It's this space of clarity, sort of awakening a space of stillness within, finding the clarity of mind. As you sort of move through your mindful practice this evening, sort of unfurled from your day, what springs to your mind? The soothness is coming in. You're then going to walk your hands back to your knees to come up to seated. That's just so you can rotate your legs forward and lower down onto your back, hugging your knees into your chest. You're going to send your arms out to a T and drop your knees over to the left, shifting your gaze towards the right. And maybe you bring your left hand on top of your right knee, just to invite a little bit more release into the twist. And just breathe into the space. Maybe your knees are in line with your hips, maybe slightly above your hips or slightly below your hips. It's all just sort of a different expression to how this speaks to the obliques in the body, the backside of the body, into your glutes. So just finding where it works for you. So then lower your left hand back down to your mat. Bring your knees in through center. And lower your knees over to the right. And shifting your gaze towards the left. Again, you might use the self-assist of your right hand on top of your left knee. And shifting your gaze to sort of guide yourself into your expression of this twist. We're going to take 3 more breaths here. Embracing each inhale and each exhale. Really feeling the release of your day. And then bring your right hand back down to your mat. Bring your knees into center. And then lower your feet to your mat. You're going to bring the soles of your feet to touch, opening up in your knees. And resting your hands wherever speaks to you. So it might be hands to your hips, maybe one hand to your heart, one hand to your abdomen. Just resting into the space and grounding in. As we are in this move of transition to our final space in practice, so taking this moment to check in with yourself. Is there anything else that your physical self is calling for? You can take 3 more breaths here and just see if there's any other gentle movement that's calling to you. As you start to transition into the space for Shavasana, we're going to bring our physical self to rest. So when you are ready, you'll use your hands to guide your knees back into center. And extend your left foot to the end of your mat. And your right foot to the end of your mat. And resting your arms by your side, but space between your arms and your side body. And making sure that there's no uninvited objects to the party. So I know that we've got a little 4-legged furry friends that might be scampering around, which is all embracing the practice. But if there's a blanket or a block or a book that's touching you, just nudge it aside. Truly give your physical self a place to rest into. And then once you find that space of rest for the physical body, sometimes the mind gets a little busy. Sort of movement is something that was laid to stillness so the mind can get active. So I want you to take a deep breath in and a heavy breath out. Another deep breath in and exhale, let it go. You're going to take your heaviest breath of the evening and exhale, let it all out. Shavasana. You're going to take a welcoming breath in and a guided breath out. Then just start to make some gentle movement into your fingers and toes. We'll bring the soles of your feet to your mat. Roll over to your favorite side and guide yourself up into seated. And just rest your hands wherever is comfortable for you. Today has been a reflection of me, of what keeps me grounded into practice and the skill set that I have gleaned from my practice that I have channeled into my life. And so one of those is getting caught in the reflection that serves me no purpose. And so what does that mean? Tree is generally one of those sort of general balance poses that we do in our practice, and generally one side is stronger than the other. We all have balance that is different to the left than it is to the right. But no matter what side we start on, we critique ourselves from that practice of like, my tree could have been stronger, my hands could have been wider, we just start going through all the things like I shouldn't have fallen out of the tree, and like, what does falling out of the tree really mean? I don't really know. But we critique in a way that tends to be discrediting to the work that we have done. We don't honor that we came onto our mat, that we stepped into a space, that we tried with true intention. And then we take that sort of critique as we build our next tree. And what I've learned is that taking that critique doesn't necessarily help me. It helps me to be in the space, ground into the space, and do the best that I can and learn from my actions in a growth and helpful way, not in a space of criticism. And so as I take this lesson into my life, I've gone to a meeting and I've had a typo on an agenda, which, oh my gosh, like I don't think the world's going to fall apart from that. Or I've come like 2 minutes late. It's really okay. But I take these small critiques and I carry them with me through my day. And I think what I've learned is it is helpful to learn from the experience, but not stay buried in the experience. So as we are channeling into how our practice can help to unite us as legal warriors into the world, it is how we can learn from the spaces that we navigate through as an opportunity of growth and love. So I want you to bring your right hand to your heart and just channel into what was a moment of learning for you today. Moment that you experience that you're like, you know what? Next time I'll do this. I've learned from my experience, and this is an opportunity of growth, an opportunity to broaden my skill set. Because I trust that I am a strong legal warrior day in and day out, doing the best that I can in each moment. What was that space for you? And then you'll place your left over your right. And just to acknowledge that we are here in growth together. We're here to nurture our skill set to continue our journey forward. Just one breath at a time. Each breath offers a new experience and a new enlightenment. I bow my chin to my chest in honor of you coming to practice with me tonight. Such a pleasure, my legal warriors. I bow to you. Namaste.